श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we were studying yesterday the meaning of Anthakarana Shuddhi. So we saw first in Kathopanishad some point, then other point is that through karma Anthakarana becomes pure. Actually, only one we practice in our evolution the preliminary steps of Anthakarana Shuddhi. Then alone we will be allowed or promoted to the practices of Anthakarana Shuddhi in a higher dimension, inner purity. So the third point is, they say that dekhiye Anthakarana means mind, intellect, Chitta, the entire memory bank, and Ahankara. All these four are constituted of thoughts, or they are made up of thoughts, but the functional names are different. Chitta, the mind, the memory or the mental stuff, mind stuff, the mind, the surface mind, intellect, the buddhi, and the ahankara, all this Anthakarana Chatushtayam. Now, another viewpoint is, the third point is, Anthakarana Shuddhi depends upon vasanas or sankalpa. If there is pure vasanas, then the Anthakarana, the mind and intellect, becomes pure. If the vasanas, the tendencies are bad, the same thing is reflected in the mind stuff. Therefore, the Anthakarana becomes impure. We have to study very carefully. Now the question is, therefore, Anthakarana Shuddhi is not attained through karma. Some Siddhanta, some people say that though the karma also purifies us in different way, but their viewpoint is from another viewpoint, that vasanas are responsible for anthakarna shuddhi. Therefore, in order to purify those vasanas, upasana is the best method. Hence, they suggest through upasana alone the mind and intellect become pure, purer day by day. Therefore, whenever we take Lord's name, Bhagwan ka naam, that moment, that time, in that moment, because of the name of the Lord, that kshana, at that particular defined moment, when we are taking the Lord's name, at that time, chitta becomes pure. Got my point? Now, therefore, antakarna shuddhi can take place only through upasana. So, any upasana when we undertake, that particular moment, चित्त वृत्तिस are made up of the भगवान नाम जब लेते हैं तो भगवान का नाम ही अंदर रहेगा, तो इसका मतलब that moment चित्त is pure. So, upasana is a method. Through nama japa या नित्य अनुष्ठान, whatever way you feel, so this is a method. बिकॉज वेन तब जब जब भगवान का नाम हम डालते हैं चित्तवृत्ति में, चित्त में, तब तब उस क्षण अंतःकरण शुद्ध हो जाता है. जब भगवान का नाम लेना भूल गया या हटा दिया मन से, फिर चित्त अशुद्ध हो जाती है. सो तीसरा व्यू पॉइंट इज दैट we must do upasana constantly to make the mind pure. Now, another yoga point of view. Yoga point of view, अंतःकरण शुद्धि, फोर्थ व्यू पॉइंट. यहाँ पे ये लोग कहते हैं अंतःकरण शुद्धि takes place only through samadhi, asampragnata samadhi, nirvikalpa samadhi, nirbija samadhi, all those things what we say, samadhi alone. So therefore their point is, because only as long as vasanas are there, so long the thoughts are there. As long as the thoughts are there, so long the mind remains impure. Therefore, the state in which the vasanas are fully subdued is samadhi. Therefore, in samadhi alone, chitta becomes pure. That is yoga viewpoint. We are not here to analyze which viewpoint is correct. We have no business, because we are not even standing at any viewpoint to view. So yoga says, so as long as there are vasanas, so long there is a danger for this antakarana becoming pure, impure. Therefore, the question is now, chitta should always be freed from objectivity. What is the ashuddhata in the chitta, impurity in the mind and intellect? That is, objectivity is the impurity. When we entertain various Vishaya Vastus, Vishaya Chintanam, when the objects of the world outside enter, photograph is clicked and they enter into our Chitta, their reflection enters, and Chitta is shaped, regrouped, reformed. It is taking different shapes. And Vishaya Vastus lagatar, constantly as a stream they are entering. That's called objectivity. So therefore, chitta always must be freed from Vishayas. Then alone the purity takes place. And as long as there is chitta, we cannot prevent objects from entering into it. Chitta is dynamic. When chitta is awakened means in a waking state, in waking state, when through Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, five sense organs of perception, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, I experience these various objects because I am in waking plane. So the entry of this world into the mind, stirring our chitta, reacting with the old ones, also fighting with the buddhi, and also projecting into future. All these multifarious simultaneous activities in the mind cannot be arrested as long as the chitta is in waking plane, interacting with the world outside, and objectivity itself is dosha, that is the Vishaya Vastu entering itself into is dosha. Therefore, vasanas are to be subdued. So in samadhi alone, chitta is not available for the Vishaya Vastus. Therefore, in samadhi alone, chitta becomes pure. So chitta must be made freed from savishaya. There should not be any. When antakarna is savishaya, there is chitta dosha is there. So यहाँ पे क्या है? If there is a stree in our chitta or a purusha in our chitta, then kama vasana is a result of that chitta in the chitta vritti. And similarly, when there is a wealth in the chitta, then the lobha pravritti is natural result of that in that chitta. Similarly, when enemy is remembered, then alone hatred is born. So Vishaya Vastu enters and subsequent thoughts are generated in chitta. Therefore, if chitta is completely emptied, there is no kama, no lobha, no shatrutva, no bheda buddhi. So this is yoga marga. So if chitta is emptied, no kama, krodha, lobha, moha, etc. But that also is jada samadhi. The question is how long you can be remain in samadhi. So from samadhi to again we have to enter into higher states of consciousness, wherein in a wakeful sleep, we must be awakened to our own nature, not like samadhi where I am not aware of the external world. How long I can run away from this? But samadhi abhyasa teaches us that there is something higher bliss than these worldly objects. Therefore, one who is practitioner of samadhi, one who had experienced the samadhi, so that bliss is remembered, and therefore his mind is never attracted towards the objects of the world outside. Though the bliss cannot be called as realization, but is far away advanced from us, even then it is incomplete from the standpoint of the ultimate or final destination is concerned. So this is the yoga marga. Now, fifth point. देखिए, antahkarana, this made up of thoughts. Actually, what is the stuff with which this antahkarana is made up of? When we think, it is not made up of anna, food. Though energy that we take food supplies to the mind, but the mind as such is not made up of anna. If it is made up of anna, then it becomes another body, like gross body. So we cannot say the mind is made up of food, gross food. Mind also is not made up of prana. Nor it is made by karma. Karma affects the mind, but the mind, the stuff with which the mind is made, the material of the mind, is not by karma. It's not by vasanas also. some the ultimate the understanding is mind has no existence at all. It is illusory. एक्चुअली माइंड करके ऐसा कोई चीज नहीं है. बट मुझे बहुत सताती है घोस्ट, हेलुसिनेशन. अब यहाँ पे देयरफॉर न बाह्येनापि हृदये सद्रूपम विद्यते मनः तदर्थ प्रतिभानम तन्मनः इति अभिधीयते. Actually, mind, there is no existence of the mind at all. It is neither outside nor inside. न बाह्येनापि न हृदये सद्रूपम विद्यते मनः. सद्रूपम, सत् रूपम, the existence of mind न विद्यते. इसका सत्ता क्या है, ये है क्या? माइंड है क्या? माइंड माइंड बोलते हैं, माइंड क्या है? माइंड में not made up of anna, not made up of prana, not made up of karma, not made up of vasana. But what is this mind? What is the matter with which the mind is made? If we really deeply think, we realize that it has no existence of its own. It has no existence. It has no existence at all. Therefore, ultimate viewpoint is that मन है ही नहीं, तो there is no need to put any effort to control it. नहीं मेरे लिए है तो करो, फिर प्रयत्न करो. आपके लिए यदि है, अब देखिए सब पागल खाना में रहते हैं. कोई एक पागल कोई चीज़ को देखता है कि बोलता है कि डॉक्टर साहब मुझे ये दिख रहा है, वहाँ कुछ है ही नहीं चीज़. अब यदि डॉक्टर इलाज करना हो उसको, तो उस बेवकूफ़ जो बताता है, दिखाता है, तो उसका पहला विवेचन करो, विवेक करना, उसका अस्तित्व को मानना, उससे फिर दूर अपने आप को हटाने के लिए कुछ टेक्निक बताना, नहीं तो उस चीज़ को दूर भगाने के लिए टेक्निक बताना. ये सब प्रक्रिया जो देते हैं, एक्चुअली डॉक्टर नोस दिस एंटायर प्रक्रिया व्हाट इज बीइंग प्रिस्क्राइब्ड फॉर दिस मेंटल पेशेंट इज एक्चुअली waste of time, my time and his time, because there is nothing called something vastu what he saw, it doesn't exist at all. तो आज सुबह एक निर्णय पर पहुंच गए हम सब कि हम सब पागल हैं. आप अपने आप को मानते हैं कि नहीं मन है तो है, तो फिर लड़ो. So since mind has no existence, तो इसके लिए कोई प्रयत्न करने की जरूरत नहीं. इसलिए मांडुक्य तो गड़बड़ बात है. अभी मांडुक्य में शुरुआत में भी नहीं है, हम पहले मंत्र में भी पहुंचा नहीं, उपोद्घात भी खत्म नहीं हुआ. तो यदि है तो no patient will accept if doctor outrightly denies the existence of some object what is being perceived by the mental patient. They are called extremely hallucination, extreme hallucination. फिर वायोर्व सुदुष्करम, दैट इज फॉर वन लेवल. जिसके लिए मन है उसी के लिए शुद्धि का प्रश्न उठता है. जिसका मन ही नहीं है, मांडुक्य उपनिषद स्पीक्स अबाउट अमनस्क स्थिति, स्टेट ऑफ माइंडलेसनेस. Now, then what is mind? Mind करे कोई चीज नहीं है. Then something, the awareness of external objects itself is called as mind. There is no mind. आप your awareness of the bahiranga बाह्य वस्तु, when you are aware, उसी को एक स्पेशल नाम दिया गया माइंड. माइंड करके कोई चीज नहीं है. The moment you get up from the deep sleep state and you see your mind is there, संसार, सारे संसार याद आ गए, then your काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मद, मात्सर्य, ईर्ष्या, द्वेष, असूया, राग, competition, jealousies, comparison, भाग दौड़, संसार के प्रति द्वेष या नहीं तो प्रेम, all the sansar begins. Why? The moment I become aware of the external vastu, external world, then and there itself something mysterious, non-existing entity is ghostly created. It's a ghost creation. That awareness of the external objects, pratiti, बाह्य विषयों का प्रतीति को ही हम मन कहते हैं. अब देखिए, इतना हम यह सब पढ़ने के बाद फिर भी आप रोते, शोक करते, शोक मनाते हैं, तो इसका मतलब यू आर इंसल्टिंग द स्क्रिप्चर्स, इंसल्टिंग द गुरु परंपरा. इतना भी हम व्यवहार में ला नहीं सकते हैं. यदि इतना भी कम से कम 1% भी नहीं, 0.001% भी ना ही हम उतार नहीं पा रहे हैं जीवन में. मर गया तो रोना, जन्म लिया तो हंसना, बीमार पड़ गए तो रोना, कोई शक हम पर किए तो रोना, परेशान होना. आप जरा सोच करिए, आप सोच के बताइए कि यह मन है क्या नहीं है. जैसे अलात शांति, अलात शक्ति, अलात शांति, दिस कम्स इन मांडुक्य उपनिषद. So that consciousness, that is awareness or the consciousness itself is the mind when there is awareness of otherness or other objects. अन्य का अनुभव, अन्य का प्रतीति और अन्य वस्तुओं का प्रतीति जब होता है, उस हम चैतन्य को ही हम मन कहते हैं. Actually, mind is consciousness alone. The consciousness, so mind is consciousness plus objectivity in its womb. In which womb? In the womb of consciousness or within the consciousness. That objectivity in the consciousness also is a myth, because there cannot be any vastu practically entering into the consciousness. Where the vastu itself is illusory. So जब जब शुद्धता का अनुभव होता है मन में, that time we say the mind is pure. Whenever there is अशुद्ध का अनुभव मन में हो रहा है, that means the mind is impure. That means objectivity, शुद्ध objectivity, अशुद्ध objectivity. शुद्ध विचार, अशुद्ध विचार. कोई भी वस्तु अंदर भीतर प्रवेश करने के बाद, if it is reacting, that condition itself called purity, positively reacting. If it is creating ashuddha, actually there is no mind. So fifth viewpoint in Anthakarana Shuddhi is, if there is a something called mind, then the question of control comes. Actually, there is no mind. तो अशुद्ध विचार, शुद्ध विचार, meaning अशुद्ध वस्तु, शुद्ध वस्तु. Vastu is neither ashuddha nor shuddha, but the way you react it with it. The vastu, when it is creating in you ashanti, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsaryas, then it is called ashuddha vastu. So awareness of the external world or external objects itself is called as mind. So proved beyond doubt. So what is mind? Chittam chitya vijaniyat. Chittam is chit eva. So chitta, we have seen many times in Sadachara sloka. Chitta plus takara is called chitta. So the chit is pure consciousness. Extra takara you add, it is called mind. The takara is vishayodhyasi. So objectivity, when it enters into the mind, it is called mind. In the consciousness, it is called mind. When I am aware of the external world, it is called mind. When I am not aware of the external world, it is not called mind. Therefore शुद्धता is only शुद्ध विचार. Therefore शुद्ध वस्तु विचार करने से ही मन में शुद्धता आ जाती है. And there is no शुद्ध वस्तु other than Advaita Brahma. Therefore always contemplating on Advaita Brahma Tattva alone is called purity of the mind. एकम सत विप्रा बहुधा वदन्ति अद्वितीय वस्तु. अद्वितीय वस्तु. There is no द्वितीय वस्तु. Because द्वितीयम यत्र भवति तत्र भयम भवति. So in that supreme ekavastu chintana advaita, because even if we contemplate Lord Ishvara or the something called God, your God is separate from others' God, then again the objectivity enters. Then that God which you create unique for yourself, for your religion, for your caste, for your creed, for your country, and separated from others, and therefore lagatar fighting. Why? That tukda of the consciousness which you call as God, and separate him from the totality and give him a separate identity, shape, size, form and qualities, and identify the God also, forcibly make him identify with your religion and concept. The such kind of a God Smarana also simultaneously is creating in me certain types of hatred, jealousy, restlessness towards others. So therefore अशुद्धता आ गई कि नहीं? तो इन्हीं सांप्रदाय, भगवान को यदि सांप्रदायिक बना दिया फिर भी अशुद्धता आ जाती है, क्योंकि सांप्रदायिक, हमारा सांप्रदाय के प्रति प्रेम, अन्य सांप्रदायों के प्रति द्वेष, और अन्य सांप्रदाय जो फॉलो करते हैं उनके प्रति भी द्वेष. तो हम कहने के लिए मंदिर जा रहे हैं, वो एक्चुअली स्पीकिंग मोर हेट्रेड टुवर्ड्स नॉन बिलीवर्स इन माई गॉड देन माई लव टुवर्ड्स माई गॉड. सो मन शुद्धि यदि चाहिए, एक्सेप्ट इन दैट वन विदाउट द सेकेंड, वन कॉन्शियसनेस, एक वस्तु, अद्वितीय वस्तु, अद्वितीय ब्रह्म, that one singular universal presence, when we constantly think, there is no ashuddhata in the mind, because other than that one may everything is merged. Otherwise, if I am not contemplating on one, that means I am contemplating on many, and manyness means external objects. Awareness of external objects means creation of some so-called non-existent mind, and the awareness itself is called mind. and that mind is impure. Why? Manyness you are thinking, then analysis come, then comparison comes, then which is good, which is bad, which is useful, which is not useful. All the samsara enters into the mind. So this is the, therefore Shuddha Vastu, the purity of that Shuddha Vastu, we constantly think of that alone, that and that alone. There is no malinata of whatsoever. So the awareness of the one without the second makes us realize the non-existence of mind and existence of Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. That Bahuda Vadanti also with respect to our standpoint of the world. Otherwise we realize that oneness, this itself is called Antakarna Shuddhi. Bas. So, if you say that I have mind, I am feeling, that means it's your problem, because mind doesn't exist. So, अभी क्या हुआ? As long as we contemplate on Advaita Parabrahma, so long mind becomes pure. And as long as we think samsara, so long our antakarana remains impure. Therefore, just let us think only of the Supreme, then alone antakarana becomes pure. And therefore, there is no need for long practice to make the mind pure, because other than thinking, soch, thinking, inverted commas, there is nothing called as mind. जो बार बार लगातार जन्म जन्म लगेगा मन की शुद्धि के लिए, ये सब बकवास है. ये मानते हैं तो मान लो, है ही नहीं. तत्क्षणादेव लीयन्ते. They, that and that moment alone they can merge. So the intensity that, for example, the intensity of that Bhagwan ka naam, या नहीं तो suppose there is see on the in my hand, suppose there is a dabba like rectangle box में say about middle portion, very little portion alone is the present, and some maximum portion is the past, something is future. In the present you are thinking, but vibration of that power, the namasmarana, the intensity of it, the devotion with which you chant is very low. So it gives signals, but hardly it occupies the central part of the box. Suppose you create such a powerful note of your chanting, not by increasing the voice louder, but in man mein hi, in the within only, but the namasmarana is so deep with full devotion and confidence, and the deep note, a high intonation, high pitch within it, that namasmarana occupies the whole box, rectangle box called mind, including past and present, and the entire race are following, and that means past and future thoughts which have been entertained in the mind also becomes purer. So therefore, namasmarana karte, there were great devotees, that bhaktas, every cell started vibrating to the tune of that nama. So Advaita Brahma Chintanam, इसके अलावा thinking के अलावा there is nothing called as mind. This is the Anthakarna Shuddhi Prakriyas. But everybody is not fit enough for the last step. Everybody is not fit enough to drop the world at once. अब देखिए, अद्वैत परब्रह्म, अवेयरनेस ऑफ दैट परब्रह्म परमात्मा के अलावा और कुछ नहीं रहना है, इसका मतलब क्या है? शरीर का भान भी नहीं होना चाहिए. That moment, whenever I am aware of my body, then I become aware of all the body ailments or conditions and goodness and badness, the limitations of the body. Just as a patient is given anesthesia, He is not aware of the body. But when he becomes aware of the body, he screams in pain. So there is nothing pain. Awareness of the body itself is pain. Similarly, awareness of Jagat itself is samsara. Awareness of multitude itself is problem, samsara. So, ekachintanat nashametyadaha. Manonasha, not manolaya. Mind is merged every day in deep sleep state, also in samadhi, but it is not destroyed. Ekachintanat nashameti. So, this we have seen so far. What is the meaning of the, what do you call, Anthakarana Shuddhi. Now, the next point. The next point in this Guru Upasati. Guru Upasati means taking the shelter at the feet of Guru. Then Tampada, Tatpada. अब देखिए, actually speaking, anybody is eligible to go to Guru physically. But which student is benefited more? One who has totally surrendered and dedicated himself and devoted in his mind to the Guru. Total surrender. That disciple is benefited more. So, though we may have many gurus in life, लगातार gurus parade before us, but we remain as it is. Why? Because without the Adhikari Nirnaya Bhag, what we saw, mysteriously it is called the path of probationary path. During the probationary path, the disciple is selected, studied by Guru, but not accepted. It doesn't accept him. Once Guru accepts a disciple, he will never leave. But during the probation, he can be dropped and tell him, doesn't matter, other Guru will come and lift you up. Meanwhile, you prepare yourself as best as you can. So what is Guru Upasati? Taking shelter under Guru is called Guru Upasadanam or Guru Upasati. Guru के पास जाना. अधिकार निर्णय हो गया, then Guru Upasati. जैसे मुंडकोपनिषद says तद्विज्ञानार्थम गुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिः श्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम्. तद्विज्ञानार्थम. To know that truth, one has to go to teacher, totally surrender, and therefore, and moreover, yasya deve parabhaktihi yatha deve tatha guru. Disciple, see, whatever devotion he shows, the parabhakti, jitna bhakti, parabhakti he shows in the Ishtadevata, same amount of devotion he must show towards his guru. Yatha deve tatha gurau. And as much faith he develops in his guru, that much faith he must also have on the mantra given by guru. And as much faith he has in the mantra, that much faith he must also develop in himself. Now we are laying only foundation for Mandukya Karika. Little foundation, not a pakka. Pakka to fir bahut chalega. Because in the Mandukya Upanishad, neither there is neither creation nor destruction. They don't accept creation itself. Then what to talk of going beyond understand? Nothing, kuch hai hi nahi. Na nirodha na cha utpattihi. There is neither creation nor any dissolution. Nothing is there. Nothing happened in Brahman. Nothing can ever happen in Brahman. But that's the highest state of Mandukya. So therefore, in these four things there must be oneness. Ekata. Ekata mane in Ishta Devata, in the Guru, in the Mantra and in the Atman. Ishta Devata, Guru, Atma and Mantra, there must be oneness. We must feel that these four are one. If a person has no faith in Guru at all, then he is deemed for destruction only. He cannot progress. Okay. If you have no faith in Guru, such a person, two things, samshaya continuously takes place in his mind. Doubts alone come. Whatever Guru says, you doubt. Such kind of a fickle-minded, emotional people, sentimental people. There are some people, whatever Guru says, everything is seen as for their own good. Even if Guru tests him, in that also he says, maybe Guru. Even if Guru says, get out and never show me. There is a great disciple of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. I had darshan. He is no more attained samadhi. Emptiness in his eyes. There is no chalanam. Mind is not there. He settled next to the Arunashram only. Sometime Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, when he was there, some kind of useless people created some problem to him and somebody blamed him and all that. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, now you leave the ashram, he said. He went and hardly few steps, maybe around 200 meters or 300 meters. I had his darshan in the year 82 or 83. He saw Ramana Maharshi. Bhagavan said, get out of the ashram. Yahan pe nikal dao. He took it as a blessing. He also wear cowpeen. Ditto Raman, very thin structure he became. Holding the stick he was walking, very old man. Absolute emptiness. And even Ramana Maharshi attained samadhi, he never went to ashram to see this body also. There is no sentiment, there is nothing. Once Guru said, that is final. So there are wonderful devotees on this world of that caliber. Samarth Ramdas, he was sitting on Sajjangad mountain. On the mountain and niche one lake and valley and lake water. He used to have one disciple, I forgot his name, Kalyan. So Angavastra was there, sitting on the mountain top, both of them. He was serving his master like anything. Angavastra, because of high winds, breeze, it flew off. पहाड़ पर बैठे सज्जनगढ़, छाता बोलते छात वॉट एवर इट इज, अरे कल्याण मेरे अंगवस्त्र छाता. Without thinking, he jumped from there to catch that. उतना हाइट से कूदने के बाद भी उसको कुछ नहीं हुआ. अंगवस्त्र लेके चढ़ के आगे गुरु को दिया. Padmapada, Shankaracharya just called him. Guru called me. दौड़ते पानी के ऊपर ही. It was publicly seen. Wherever he placed, a huge supporting lotus manifested there. He was not, wherever his foot was about to fall, there something is manifested, supported, and he ran over the river and came to Guru and said, please tell me. Then Acharya told, this is his devotion. So, Samshaya is the one. He is destroyed. जहाँ पे संशय है वहाँ विनाश है. संशयात्मा विनश्यति. So Gurupasatti is completely surrendering, and with the great devotees, women devotion towards Guru, we can cross any hurdle in life. Hurdle है ही नहीं. And because when we say we go to Guru, there will be no pride, abhiman before Guru. Hypocrisy cannot be there before Guru. Why? Guru is freed from all doubts, so you also remain free from doubts. No kama, no krodha in front of Guru. That is why surrender to Guru is a must, and therefore Veda says Acharyo van Purusho Veda. Who knows? Which Purusha knows the truth? Acharyo one who is a teacher. So Acharyadhyeva vidita vidya sadishtam prapat. That knowledge which has been gained from a teacher, it becomes fruitful and helpful in realizing the truth. Sadishtam prapata. It achieves its purpose. Therefore, Guru Parampara, Guru के पास बैठना, गुरु के पास बैठ के सीखना, श्रवण करना, गुरु परंपरा को नमस्कार करते रहना, that is called Guru Upasatti or Guru Upasadanam. So Vedanta Artha Vichara, Vedanta Artha में 7 things are expounded. One is Adhikari Nirnaya. Second is Guru Upasatti. Third is Tatpada and Tvampada Shodhana. Tvampada and Tatpada Shodhanam. This we will take up tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki.